Morning students, today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is Madam Writes the Best. It is written by Valli Kannan. Valli Kannan, actually it is the pseudonym of R.S. Krishnaswamy. Krishna actual name is R.S. Krishnaswamy. He is a Tamil writer, journalist and critic. He was born in Tirunelveli in 1920 and died in the year 2006. This is about a girl who had her experience in the bus ride. Let us begin. Before you read, in this sensitive story, an 8-year-old girl's first bus journey into the world outside her village is also her induction into the mystery of life and death. What is induction means? Induction means entry. It is not only about her journey out of her village, it's also about her entry into the mystery of life and death. She is actually seeing what is life, experiencing the death and the life. She sees the gap between our knowing that there is death and our understanding of it. She sees the gap. Gap means difference. What's the difference of our knowing that there is death? We all know there is death, and our understanding of it. So she is seeing it in front of her. Somebody is dying. So that's about the lesson. There is an activity given here. Look at the words and phrases given below, then put a tick against the ones you think you will find in the text. That is your work, you have to do. The second one also, you must have travelled by bus more than once. What can you see from a fast moving bus? Given below are some suggestions. Speak briefly about some of these scenes or about other such scenes that you have seen, or write a sentence or two about them. So you can write down about each and words used in this box. We cannot speak, we are not in the classroom. It's a virtual classroom, it is not possible to do that. So let us begin the lesson. There was a girl named Valli Ammai, who was called Valli for short. Her full name is Valli Ammai, and people used to call her Valli. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. Very curious means very inquisitive. She wanted to know about all the things. That age is like that. Her favorite pastime means here hobby, was standing in front of the doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. Her house is next to the roadside house, isn't it? So what is her pastime? How do she pass her hobby, you can say? She is to stand outside the house, that is near the doorway, and she is to observe what's happening around. There were no playmates of her own age on her street. Her age group children were not there. And this was about all she had to do. But for Valli, standing at the front door was very bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. Elaborate here in the sense detail. So she is here the author is comparing her pastime is very enjoyable. What is her pastime? She is to stand outside the house. That is, she is to be always standing in front of the doorway, and what she is to do? She is to observe what was happening in the street outside. That is compared, that is very enjoyable. That's what the author is saying. And it is compared to what the children plays games outside. Watching the street gave her many new unusual experiences. She is learning so many things while observing what is happening outside the house. There is a picture given in your book also. You must have seen. Next page, that is 118. You take. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that travelled between her village and the nearest town. She was attracted by what site? The travelling of the bus. Where do it go? It goes from her village to the town. It passed through her street each hour. Each and every hour there is a bus going to where towards the town. Once going to the town and once coming back. Once it will be going towards the town and the same bus will come back also. The sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers. Each time she used to observe new set of people are sitting inside the bus was a source of unending joy for Valli. So that's a very interesting sight for whom? For Valli. She used to observe how the bus is going from her village with a group of people, and it comes towards where? Towards town, and it comes back to the village with a new group of people. That's the most enjoyable sight who is to observe Valli. Day after day she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. What is crept means? Came into her head and grew there. It started developing. What was the wish she had? She wanted to ride on that bus. What is her wish? She wanted to ride on her bus, and even if just once, only once she just wanted to go in the bus. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Overwhelming means overpowering. Valli would stare wistfully at the people who got on or off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. What is wistfully means? Longingly, very desirably, very curiously. She used to observe the people who are getting inside the bus and coming out of the bus. And their faces would kindle in her longings. Kindle means set alight in her longings, dreams and hopes. What dream she was having? She wanted to ride in the bus. And if one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Valli would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, proud, proud. See, one of her friends used to go to where? The town in the bus. So she was feeling very jealous towards them. And which word she used to say? Proud, proud. Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word. She doesn't know the meaning of the word proud, but still even her friends doesn't know the meaning of the word proud, but still they used to shout proud, proud. But they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval. What is slang expression? Informal words often used within a close group. Slang is while speaking language. Over many days and months, Valli listened carefully to the conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly use the bus, and she also asked few discreet questions here and there. She used to listen to the people whoever traveled towards where in the bus towards the town. She used to listen to them, and she used to ask very careful questions. Discreet questions are meaning careful questions to them. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. So, because from the neighbors, she learnt about so many information about the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from our village. The fare was 30 paise one way, which is almost nothing at all. She heard one well-dressed man say, but Valli, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. What is scarcely means? Hardly. So she used to listen to the talk of the people, the village people. Somebody had said that the bus fare is only 30 paise one way. That is, if they are going from the village to town, it is only 30 paise. And the people, she heard a person was very nicely dressed. He said that it is nothing. But for her, it is very difficult to earn how much money? 30 paise. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she could return home on the same bus. She doesn't want to get down in the town. She just wanted to ride in the bus. So she started calculating, if she is traveling in the bus towards the town, she has to pay how much money? She has to pay only 30 paise. If she wanted to come back home also in the same bus, how much she has to pay? She has to pay again 30 paise. Then she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45, and she back home by about 2:45. So she is calculating how can she go? What time bus she has to get inside? 1 o'clock afternoon bus, and she will be reached there on what time? 1:45. But it's 45 minutes ride. And the same bus, if she is coming back, she can come back at 2:45. On and on went her thoughts. She's actually planning for the bus trip. She continued with her planning. She calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. She started planning and replanning. Then for what? For the bus trip. Clear? This is the first part of the lesson. Now see the second part. Now she planned how much money she wanted, how much time it will take to reach in the town and coming back to the village. Everything she calculated and she kept. She gathered information from whom? She gathered information from the whom also? From the neighbors also. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus." And the tiny hand was raised commandingly. So now who is running? Valli is planning to ride in the bus. One fine spring day, the afternoon time, the conductor heard somebody was shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus." And tiny hand was raised commandingly. Commandingly means impressively. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out of the door, sticking his head out of the head means taking head outside, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." The conductor couldn't see the person, so he said that whoever want to get in, please hurry up. "It is me," shouted Valli. "I am the one who has to get on." By now, the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so." So very funny way he was saying, "Oh, really? You wanted to get in?" "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Valli, still standing outside the bus, "and here is my money." She showed him some coins. Very confident. The girl showed the money to the bus fare also to the conductor. Okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her. He just stretched a hand to help her. Now she is not accepting the help from the conductor. "Never mind," she said. "I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me." The conductor was a jolly sort. Jolly sort means very happy person, fond of joking. "Okay, oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam." Who said? The conductor said. Very funny way. He called the Valli as what? As madam. Just see here. Have a seat right up there in front. So he offered a seat also to Valli. "Everybody move aside, please. Make a way for madam." Who is making fun of Valli, the conductor. It was the slack time of day. Slack time means a time when there is not much work. There were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Valli and laughing with the conductor. They were also joined with the conductor and started laughing at whom? Laughing at Valli. Valli was overcome with shyness, avoiding everyone's eyes. She walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. She was not bothered about others. She just went and directly and sat in a seat. "May we start now, madam?" the conductor asked, smiling. So she is again making fun of her, asking, "Shall we start?" Then he blew his whistle twice, and the bus moved forward with a roar. It was a new bus. Its outside painted gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. This is the description of the bus. Inside, the overhead bar shone like silver, because it is a new bus and the paint is shining. Directly in front of Valli, above the windshield, windshield means windscreen, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. She is observing everything. The seats are very good, very comfortable. Valli devoured. Devoured means studied everything with her eyes. But when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. What is canvas blind? Canvas curtain of very rough cloth. It is covered where in the lower part of the window. She cannot see outside fully. So she stood up on a seat and peered over the blind. She looked over. Peered means looked over, because there is a curtain. So she, what did she do? She stood up on the seat. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. Now it is going through the side of the canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal, and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and a blue sky. Now, what are the things she had seen while the bus was going along the side of the bank of the canal? What did she see? She had seen what? Palm trees in one side, grasslands were there, and distant mountains she could see, and the blue sky also. On the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields, green as far as the eye could see. She had seen all the full greeneries. Say, oh, it was all so wonderful. Who started thinking? Valli started enjoying the sceneries. Suddenly, she was startled by a voice. Startled means surprise. Listen, child, said the voice. You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down. Because what was she doing? She could not see the sight outside. What did she do? She was standing on the seat. So somebody said that, don't stand like that. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. She is very smart. She wanted to see who had given the command. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. But who did not like the talk of the man? Valli did not like it. There is nobody here who is a child, she said haughtily. Haughtily means very proudly. The man asked the girl to sit down. What did she say that? Listen, child. That Valli did not consider her as a child. That's why she had given the answer. There is nobody here who is a child. She said haughtily, very proudly said that I am not a child. I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else. So she said that I paid and took the full ticket. The conductor chimed in. Oh sir, but this is a very grown-up madam. Who interfered? The conductor. What did he say that? She said, not a child, she is a grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone? So that's a question raised by the conductor. Valli shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, I am not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket. The girl is very confident and smart. She said that I am not a child, I am not a madam, but you please remember. She asked the conductor to give the ticket. I will remember, the conductor said, mimicking. Mimicking means copying her tone. Everyone laughed, and gradually Valli too joined in the laughter. Valli also started laughing along with the other passengers. The conductor punched means made holes on a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? The conductor asked her, you paid for the seat, isn't it? So you please sit comfortably. Because I want to. She answered, standing up again. She said that I want to stand, I will stand. Who are you to ask? Indirectly, who is saying? Valli is saying. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That is why we want you to sit down, child. The conductor given the explanation. If you stand there, there are chances of falling. I am not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I am 8 years old. She said that I am 8 years old, I am no more a child. Of course, how stupid of me. 8 years, my. Who is repeating? Conductor. The bus stopped, some new passengers got on. So another stop came and the new passengers also joined them, and the conductor got busy for a time. Afraid of losing her seat, Valli finally sat down. She had seen that the other passengers are entering the bus. That's why she also finally sat down. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Valli as the bus started again. So another elderly lady sat next to her and asked her, are you traveling alone? Valli found the woman absolutely repulsive. Repulsive means causing strong dislike. Such big holes she had in her earlobes. Earlobes means outer part of the ear. She had big holes on her ear and such an ugly earrings in them. And she was wearing, that old lady was wearing a very ugly earrings. And she could smell the betel nut. Betel nut is a nut of the plant called bitter. The woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill over her lips. Spill over means spread or fall over her lips at any moment. Who could be sociable with such a person? Sociable means amiable, friendly. So she had seen the lady was chewing something and it was about to fall. The juice of the betel she was eating is about to fall on her lips. So she doesn't want to be amiable with that lady. Amiable, sociable, friendly with the lady. Yes, I am traveling alone, she answered curtly. Curtly means showing displeasure. And I have got a ticket too. I had taken ticket also. Who are you to ask? That's what she wanted to ask indirectly. Yes, she is on her way to town, said the conductor with a 30 paise ticket. Who completed the answer? The conductor. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Valli, who did not like the comment of conductor Valli. But she laughed all the same and the conductor laughed too. She started enjoying the comments of whom? The conductor. But the old woman went on with her drivel. Drivel means silly nonsense. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? These are the questions asked by the elderly lady. Do you know exactly where you are going to town? What is the street? What is the house number? So the elderly lady started asking. She is a very small girl. It's not correct of traveling alone. And where she wanted to go, the address of the house, number of the street, everything detail. Who wanted to know? The old lady who sat with whom? Sat with Valli. You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Valli said. So many questions the lady asked. Who did not like it? Valli did not like it. So she said that I know how to look after myself. Turning her face towards the window and staring out. Then after that, what did she do? She just looked outside the window and she started enjoying the scenery. Now next we will do the workbook. Thank you. So the workbook we have to do now, that is the homework, that is from comprehension passage, the 100 dresses, part number 2, that is page number 72. The first question, a foster laughs when Vangai Mathai says that they wanted to plant 15 million trees. Why did the forester react in this manner? Answer is, the forester laughed at Vangai Mathai's demands. He was convinced that they could never plant that many trees. Second question, what role does money play in the given extract? Money does play an important role. The forester could not afford to give away so many trees free of cost. Vangai Mathai could not buy them as she didn't have so much of money. Hence, she decided to produce the seedlings themselves. Third question, when you plant a tree and you see it grow, something happens to you. Explain what do you understand by the above quote. It is true that the organic growth of a tree can be seen and felt with our own eyes. Trees are alive. We want them to grow and we try to protect them. Question number 4. Rain can be a blessing and a curse. Analyze how nature can be both blessing and a curse. Rain is definitely a great blessing. It helps in growth. It increases the fertility of the soil. However, floods carry the soil away with them. The rich soil is carried away and it affects its fertility. The next question, it is wonderful to see that transformation. What is the transformation the author is talking about here? There is an immediate relationship between a person and the environment. We should be sensitive to the environmental needs and its protection. The author hopes that only such a positive transformation human beings towards the nature can save the environment. Next, second passage. Page number 74. First question. When is the seed festival celebrated in Odisha? In the month of April. Second question. Which are the seeds preserved by the Konda? Kondas preserved all kinds of seeds. They preserve seeds of millets, pulses, tubers, fruits and roots. Why are the seeds preserved? Seeds are preserved so that they may be grown in the next season for fresh crops. Next question. How do they celebrate the festival? They celebrate the festival by painting the mud wall of their homes and sweeping the floors and selecting and cleaning of seeds by women. How are the seeds preserved? Seeds are preserved in different techniques, mixing up the powder of dry neem leaves to protect them from insects. Some use cow dung as disinfectant. Next, tick the correct answer. The correct answer is the C option. Next question. How is the seed festival of Odisha a perfect example of community participation? Find words for Bijun Parab in your language. The seed festival of Odisha is definitely the perfect example of community participation. All women participate in it to select and clean the seeds. The word Bijun Parab or Bij Parv in Hindi. Next question is, that is over, that passage is over. Next homework is in page number 72. I hope you had done it, that is editing. I'll just read out the answers. Some words are given in the passage. In the passage it is missing. You have to choose the correct word and insert it. I'll read the paragraph. Answer is there. They sailed around. Around is the missing word. The islands of Sumatra and Andaman Sea and followed the coastline up from Malaysia into the waters of Thailand, and then two is the missing word. After days of exploration, the island, that is the is missing. The island village founder, you must have seen there. Then the island offered excellent protection to the elements. Two is the missing word. In the next line, and had plentiful fish. And is the missing word. And had plentiful fish. Next missing word, Tho Babu raised a flag above the island summit. That is, above is the missing word. From 3 original families, the village has expanded and become home to 1,485 people. That's all. That's the missing words. Next exercise we did in the class, last class. Next one is the next lesson, that is Glimpses of India, Unit 7. There are 2 comprehension passages, that is text 1 and text 2. You have to do it at home. The next exercise is in page number 91, that is vocabulary related. You have to match the sounds in A with the appropriate words from column B. Shuffling is, the first one is, the answer is of feet. Striking is of a match. Puffing is of an engine. Clanking of chains. Sighing of the wind. F is already given. Rustling of leaves. Banking of the door. H, gurgling of water. Howling of hyenas. Hyena. You must have seen there. Then the grammar. So we had already done. There are 2 different types of participles. One is the present participle, that is the ing verb, is ing form of the verb, that is present participle. Past participle is the third form of the verb. So now let us see the exercise. The few sentences are given there, how the present participle and past participle are used in the sentences. Now you have to do is the fill in the blanks of the sentences with past participle from one of the following words. People demonstrated against the changes proposed. Second question, the loud cheer went up from the students watching the show. After the editor read this article, she checked all the examples coated there. Next one, rub the antiseptic cream in the infected area. My wallet was among the things taken away. Cyclone Fani was a frightening experience. Next is what you have to do is next paragraph you have to read and you have to underline the what the present tense used there. That is the verbs you have to underline and change the present tense into past tense. That is your homework. Then the next page, that is page number 93. There is an editing. That's also your homework. That's the end of that chapter. Clear? This much only. Next 2 chapters is cancelled. That is oatmeal. Which will the otter? That's also cancelled from the CBSE. So, we have to do only the next lesson that we will be doing in the next class. Thank you.